If he took a dump on his desk, you would defend it.
It would be like somebody pooping their pants and then people looking at it and saying, oh, that's modern art. Don't you understand?
And they all had a good laugh. Think about that if it were reversed, if the same was being said about Barack Obama. The media continuing what appear to be, well, not appear to be, what are, at least to me, pretty sophomoric, immature attacks on the president. Whatever you think of him, does he deserve that? Does actually anyone deserve that? Talking about defecation, that sort of thing. Really? How old are we here? Media research president Brent Bozell. Do you think the media is just going a tad too far there, Brent?
You know, Neil, I want to say, because I know Joe, I want to say Joe is better than that. But I'm not so sure he is anymore, because he is bought in to the water cooler at MSNBC. He is part of that operation that now sees that it's an anything-goes attitude about Donald Trump. By the way, this is exactly why Kathy Griffin did what she did, because she, too, believed that there were no lines that could be crossed that were not unacceptable. And so we're...
Well, by the way, she was surprised the left came out against her, but not everybody on the left. A little back and forth with, you know, Al Franken, who was going to go on a book tour with her and then pulled that. And but very few have rallied to her defense. So I think she was caught off guard with that and now is blaming it on the Trump family. But that's weird. I can't keep track of it. But we keep seeing this play out.
Yeah, but we do. But where Kathy Griffin is concerned, she didn't expect it because they have the attitude that anything goes. So Joe Scarborough can say what he says, and Anderson Cooper can do the same thing on CNN, and she can take it to the next step, because you always have to take it to the next step. And there was a backlash. Sure, I can guarantee you, the radical left in Hollywood is now circling the wagons around her and saying to her, you know, you had every right to do that. And there is a moment of levity that she has hired a lawyer to do a press conference to say people were bullying her. Number one, that means her apology was never sincere. But number two, since when do you hire a lawyer to make a political point? From now on, Neil, I'm hiring a lawyer. And I'm going to have a lawyer sit right down next to me to explain my position.
In your case, that might be a good idea with the reaction you get. But, you know, Brent, I was thinking about it all. In light of the Donald Trump and the personal attacks, it's clear the media doesn't like him. Most of the media, they just hate him. It's visceral. Maybe it started with the fake news. I don't know. But the very behavior they abhor in the president and skin and all of that, they put on steroids in their own response. So I guess what I'm saying is, fine if you want to chase the Russia stories, fine if you want to say that he's going to let the world melt down and the New York Daily News covers that he's told the whole globe to drop dead and all that. But it wouldn't kill you to point out the fact that obviously markets don't agree. Our U.S. economy doesn't agree. The steady economic improvement we've had, it doesn't seem to reinforce that notion. So if you're going to rip him a new one, and that's fine, sometimes he has a lot of it coming, it wouldn't kill you to balance it out here. But there's no attempt at that. More an attempt to get as sophomoric and as childish as you can, talking about defecation, talking about so much more, his weight, stuff that would never be acceptable elsewhere.
Neil, this man will not get a break on anything that he does. Look what happened yesterday. Today, you have 138,000 jobs created, huge number. Yesterday, the market hit an all-time high. It's doing it again today. You have got the economy on a roll. And what did the Washington Post report? That the economy is, quote-unquote, faltering. Nothing works if it's Donald Trump. But where the personality is concerned, and that's what you're driving to, it is the personal, the character assassination that is being done by the far left is beyond the pale. But now you have journalists, people who consider, who want you to respect them as serious people, doing what Joe Scarborough did, which is why I repeat, I wonder whether he is still a good enough man to recognize what he's done.
You know what I do, Brent, and maybe I heard this from you years back, you can learn a lot watching a news show, news network, with the sound down. And when I hear coverage or watch it of Donald Trump, there's a lot of snickering. There's a lot of sort of, you know, just condescension that is evident in the faces and the demeanor. Now that's something you just got to watch. You know, as a journalist, you got to be very careful, because you are telling your viewers this guy's a joke. Now, whatever your views notwithstanding, quite a few people elected him. They might not share your views on him, so you could dial it back a notch.
Bill Buckley used to say, watch their eyes, watch their mouths when they're doing their reports, and you'll see what their attitude really is. And that's exactly what's going on. Watch their eyes, watch their mouths. Their eyes will have one of the rolling eyes of disbelief. Their mouths will have the scowls, will have the disgust. You'll see it on their faces.
And I've seen in coverage of you can go after Donald Trump and be heralded as a very tough journalist. And you go after, let's say, a liberal politician or a liberal cause, you're in the hip pocket of it. And by the way, I say this is an anchor of a show who Donald Trump doesn't want to come on. So I have no agenda here. My only agenda is that's fairly blatant and obvious.
This is their mission. They are all on a mission. CNN is on a mission to destroy Donald Trump. 97% negative coverage. I bet you the 3% they've been fired. This is almost unanimously trying to undermine him.
Yeah, but no matter how many people I talk to on this subject, they say, no, we don't. It doesn't happen. I don't know how much more obvious it can be to get past your own, id, but the media refuses to do it.
Look at Kathy Griffin. It gets tiresome to say if a conservative did this with Barack Obama, what would be the reaction? If a conservative did this with Barack Obama, there would literally, there would be rioting in the streets from the far left.
Yeah, but it's the prism through which a lot of people get their coverage. All right, Brent, thank you very much, my friend. Good seeing you.
Thank you, Neil.
All right, yet in the middle of all of this, stocks race on. And as I so often remind you here, it's not a sort of a red or blue thing. These guys are about green, making money. And nothing they see with all the so-called scandals, all the walking away from a global deal that was heralded as the greatest thing ever, nothing is stopping their optimism. Why is that? After this.